Hello everyone. Today I will be introducing you to a new financial management app that is used to manage the finances of the school. We know our schools nowadays run on many transactions, from regular transactions like tuition fees to irregular transactions like buying biros, buying pencils, uniform, cardigan that not all the students will buy at the same time, they buy irregularly. So it's a simple app that runs without internet and can handle both regular and irregular transactions. So the icon is shown on the screen. I'll double click it to open it. The first thing you will notice here is the first ribbon of this app where we start to select the session we are in as well as the term. So currently the school is in third term and we activate accordingly. So you can see term 25-26 third term activated. One of the first things you want to need as a new user of this app is to add students. So you add the name of the student, first name, surname, other name, date of birth, the class is currently in. If it's an existing student, you add the class is currently in, or the newly admitted student, you add the class is currently in, the session and the term you want to choose for him. Then one very key important thing is to select the parent of that student or the guardian. So we have the list here, but how do we get here? I want to show you in the next slide. So and then I will save everything. So, but I won't like to save here because this app is being used in another school by another school. So another step is to add a parent. So let's say Ajani Matthew is the name of the parent. Ajani Matthew. And phone number, try to add something. Then you see a parent or staff, you indicate that as well. Then you save. So after you do that, so when you add student, then the parent connected to that student can be picked as saved. So if the same parent has more students, maybe like 4 students, then all of them will be picked and the same parent will be added to them. Another important thing that you may be needing on a daily basis is uh, the transaction. One day the regular transaction is there, which is tuition, is automatic. So once you set your tuition, every student will be debited in the account of their parent. So you may have transaction. Let's say a parent comes today that, oh, let me give my child cardigan. So you pick the name of the parent, ensure that the session is right, the term is right. Then you pick the name of the parent, let's say it's Abidin Aziz. It will automatically load for you all the students connected to that parent and their class. All the students connected to that parent and their class. Then what's the date of that transaction? It's not necessarily going to be today. It may be 28th of June. That was when the transaction happens. 28th of June. And what happened that day? One of the child, Abdullah precisely, collected cardigan. Cardigan Abdullah. Cardigan Abdullah. So what is the amount of that cardigan? Let's say it's 12,000 naira. So you debit, remember we put it debit. Let's say he pays out of it 3,000. Or he pays everything you can debit. So then you had transaction. So the 12,000 will go to the debit of the parent and 3,000 paid will go to the credit of that parent. So there are times it may not be single transaction. Maybe many things happen for that same parent. So maybe all his children are buying one or two things or pay one or two things that day. Let's pick this parent for example. He has like four pupils. He has like four pupils here. So let's assume on the 1st of July, one of them, Amiro, collected books. So we try to narrate it well. so that it doesn't create confusion. What is it for? Amira notebooks. So, and the cost is, we collected four notebooks. Each of them is 500 naira. That means 2,000 debit. One day, another one, Azena, collected pencils. And how much is that pencils? Debit, 300. One day, their father made a payment of 4,000. So maybe this one take place on the uh, OCs 01, 1st of June. So he made a payment of how much? 4,000. So another time something happened, and you continue to add, and you had all the transaction. Let me cancel because I don't want to add here. So having done that, then you what other thing? Then you cannot generate receipt for the parent. So instead of the parent to come and disturbing your staff, come and pay, do this and that, then no, you don't need to do that. So you can easily generate. Let us know we choose Zarfad Abidin Abdul Aziz Sarfadin. We say generate receipt. So receipt will be generated like this. Abdul Aziz Sarfadin, the phone number is there, the time and session. So it shows on May, 5th of May, he paid 20,000 credit. Another 11th of May, he paid 24,000. On the 11th of May, state and NAMIS exam for Abdul Waris, one of the children, is 9,000. We put it under his debit. Cash payment on another day, he paid 800. And the Amira weekly assessment debited 800. All the transaction like that. Now, one thing you will notice is this. End of the year party is for all the students, many of the students in the school, maybe from basic 1 to SS3. So how do we undo this kind of transaction? Because to enter it for each of the students one by one is going to be very cumbersome. So that is when this button is very useful, bulk transaction. So but before then, let's see this. End of the year party for all of the students were automatically loaded. Then another thing, they pay for excursion. Anyway, that's credit. The excursion fee is also automatically loaded for the concerned student because the school year is not allowing all the students to go, maybe from basic 2 or 3 till SS3 are allowed to go. And they are collecting just 2,000. So with debit, the parent was debited 2,000. And whatever he pay will go to his credit and the total will be sum. Another thing we notice here is the outstanding balance from the second term of 25-26. So the parent is owing 61. So that means the app is carrying the past transaction record into the new term. So the next term now in 26-27, the third term transaction balance will be shifted there. So all the tuition for all the pupils were automatically generated. You don't need to do anything about that. So it makes the life very, very easy. In this school, they have a practice that any parent having more than 2 children, the additional student after the 2 will be collecting 10% discount on their tuition. That's why it's automatically wired into the app. So if your school is having another policy, then it can also be implemented. So you can see the student 10% discount apply for each of them. So in all, this parent is owing 198,200 all the transactions debit, and he has paid only 66,800. So the outstanding is just 131,400 debit. You can see minus to indicate his debit. Another thing you want to see is that so you can print the receipt for him so that he can go and get it, read it on his own, or you can send it to his WhatsApp. You can download it and send it to his WhatsApp. In fact, all the parent can receipt for all the parent can be generated at once and sent to the parent respectively. Another good thing is to see the parent summary. Here you see all the parent, how much they are owing total, how much they have paid, and what is remaining for each of the parent. So you can see the negative. This one is owing 18,000. This one is owing 20. This one is owing 46, and so on, and their name here. So the good thing about here is that you can now see how much the school generating totally. How much is the school totally expected from all the transaction? So at the bottom of this window, you can see the total there. How much is the as the school received out of this sum and how much is remaining. If you go to the bottom here, you will see what is the amount remaining for school to collect from parents. So that gives a glance view of the school's financial activity. So let me talk about this bulk transaction. If you want to debit too many students at the same time, and you think it's too cumbersome to be doing it one by one. So let's say they are going for excursion, an activity that connect all of them. Let's say an excursion or end of the year party and so on. So you write excursion. How much are you charging? 2,000. Is it debit or credit? Yes, debit. Credit can also come at time. Maybe you want to give them something generally. You can, or you want to create a refund. Then you can choose credit. So yeah, want to debit all of them 2,000, and we choose the date of the debit, yeah, stamp session and so on. Is it all the class? If it's all the classes, you have to select all the classes. So all the classes. So instead of doing it one by one, you can just come to this button and say all. So that means all the students have been selected. So once you have transaction, it will apply to all the students and be debited to their parents' account. Then, but let's clear it because we don't apply it to all the classes here. Let's say you want to apply to AGS 1, 2, 3, SS 1, 2, 3. Yes, all of them from GS 1 to SS3. Those are the ones to be debited. But let's say some exceptions exist. Let's say, like for example, now Aliyah Jani is not going on excursion. We have to uncheck it. Zainab Ibrahim is not going, uncheck it. But Malik Uyilade is not going, uncheck it. Then, after you have done all that fine tuning, then you apply to select a student. Once you click apply, they are all debited. That's how we are able to generate all these general fee, general debit, end of the year, and so on. Excursion for those the one concerned. So, uh, what other feature I want you to? So you can send via WhatsApp, as I said earlier. You can generate all received. You can fill all the parent summary and the total amount the school is being owed at any particular point in time. So so I think by and large we have discussed the major features of this app, and it's completely offline. You don't need to buy data or internet, and it can just be loaded onto any simple system. So if we install it for you, we are going to also train you more on how to get the best out of the app. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want any further inquiry, you can call the number 080 5485 9860. 080 5485 9860. Thank you and God bless.